Hi everyone, it's Alan again, Alan from ABTS Training Services in London, England. And I hope you're well. All of you who are watching me, all three of you who are watching me, I hope you're all well. Another confessional video for you today. The biggest mistake I made in my career, and I'll emphasize in my business career. I made too many in my personal life, but we won't discuss that. We're going to talk about my business career. I'm a great fan of YouTube. I love watching YouTube, and particularly I'm very into kind of 60s music, as you can see from my grey hair, and UK and psychedelic music, and I watch everything. Anything with the good old 60s in it. But I also watch business videos just to see what's going on in the world and seeing how professional these guys and ladies make presentations. And I find that when it comes to businesses, you get a lot of videos, or I watch a lot of videos. And I started in a chicken shack at the end of the garden, and now I have a multinational company. I'm the golden boy and the golden lady. And often when I'm watching these and they're spouting out about, how they crawled out of the chicken shack and they open these mega international companies, I think, but you must have made a hell of a lot of mistakes along the way. I'd like to know about your mistakes, not from a sadistic point of view, but so I never make them when I crawl out of my chicken shack and start my business. So I thought, well, let me look at my business career and try and figure out what was the biggest mistake I made. And is it worth doing a video to tell my viewers, all three of you, and to tell my viewers, for goodness sake, don't do this. I eventually had a modicum of success in my business life, but there were certain things, and one particular thing I did in my business life that virtually brought me to my knees. And I thought, so it's confession time. It's telling you the biggest mistake I made in business. Okay, here goes. This is it. The idea of this is, I hope, in a serious note, I hope you learn from this and you never go down that road. Now, this doesn't just apply to a freight forwarding business, which I'm sure some of my three viewers know that I had a freight forwarding business. This applies to any business. Any business. So the biggest mistake of my career, part one. Here we go. Okay. When I started off, I think I might have said this in another video somewhere along the line, but when I started off first, I started off not in a chicken shack, but in the spare bedroom in my house. And I had two accounts, two companies that promised me if I set myself up in business, they would give me a kickstart by letting me quote. That's all, quote for some sea freight, which I did. And I won those accounts. Now, for a long time, it was hard slog trying to get new accounts. Now, this was in the dark ages, viewer. This was when the state-of-the-art communication was your phone and a fax machine. That was it, okay? So you weren't going around all day long with the phone stuck on your ear, etc., etc. You hadn't got any of the means of communication you people have nowadays. Anyway, let's get on with the story. I spent day after day knocking on doors, going around companies, going to places like chambers of commerce and asking them for a list of all their exporters and then knocking on their door and ringing them up. Hard slog. Anyway, long and the short of it is, I built up the business. I built it up slowly but surely, I built it up, and I had quite a few small accounts that individually they didn't bring me in mega millions, but collectively they gave me and my family a very good standard of living. And I got, not only did I get some money, but more than that, I got the satisfaction of earning it myself and running a little business. Okay, so I had all these accounts. I was looking after these accounts. I was 24/7 at beck and call if they needed me. And then a company contacted me, a very large UK company contacted me, and they asked me to come into their office and quote, which I did. Again, long story short, which I got their account. Big account. So there I am, double working. At this stage, I take on a young lady to help me in the office. So there we are, doing it. And my wife, bless her, at the time, she helped answering the phone, etc., etc. Okay, so there you go. Building it. Looking after all these small accounts with one large account. And then all of a sudden, I was contacted by a company that do a lot of construction work in Libya. And they said to me, we're doing a lot of shipping to Libya, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Are you interested? And I said, yes. Now, this is where the biggest mistake in my life occurred. I paid too much attention to those two big accounts. I put my heart and soul in them. I was jumping around, jumping on planes to Libya, blah, 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 working. And you know what? I forgot my roots. I forgot that it was all of those small companies that export, that I export for, and I was forgetting them. They were still there. I was giving them a service, but I wasn't giving them the service I was giving them when I started off. I think maybe I got a bit big-headed in a way with these big companies on our books. It's okay. So the very, very large company that I was doing a lot of business for, we had a mega contract from them. And I will tell you now how much I was getting out of this contract. Potentially, I was getting £18,000. In that day, £18,000 could buy you a house. 18,000 would clear my mortgage. And this was just one consignment over a period of months, but one consignment. So I took on another young lady. And we were working away on this. I was buying a heck of a lot of equipment. I was going to buy a heck of a lot of equipment for this construction company working in Libya. Lots of meetings with them. Flew out there about twice. Flew out to Turkey to meet them. Everything going okay. And I put in my bill for my flights, etc., etc. So I wasn't losing anything. But then one morning, I had a phone call. And I had a phone call from the managing director of the construction company. And he said, "Are you sitting down?" Or words to that effect. And yeah, what's it all about? I said, "We've lost the contract. We've lost the contract in Libya." And if you can visualize it, viewer, I could see £18,000 go like that. Down the tubes, as they say. I can laugh at it now, but by then, that was the first time I had a grey hair. Okay, so it was gone. It was gone. It was gone because of political reasons, but it was gone. And I sat down and I took a very hard look at my business bank account, my personal bank account, my commitments. And I thought, beep, I am up the creek. I am up the creek here. So what do? You thought, well, we continue on. We all have setbacks in personal and business life. So I said, well, anyway, we still got these accounts. But did we? My biggest mistake was I paid too much attention to the big boys. And I let the little boys drift along, so as to speak. Looking back now that I'm an old guy, I can think, come on, were you really that stupid, Alan? Yeah, I was. I was really that stupid. And it left me with a big hole in my life, a big black hole. So what did I do? I got on my bike, as they say, and I start going around door to door, knocking and getting accounts, slowly building back up again, paying more attention to the small accounts that might bring me in £800 a month before tax. Not 18,000 for one account. No. I start building it up. And that was my biggest mistake in business. As you say nowadays, I took my eye off the ball. I was carried away. Maybe you're stronger than me. Maybe you have maybe you're more intelligent than me. But I was carried away. And I forgot the bread and butter accounts. Didn't forget them, but certainly didn't go visiting them and giving them the brilliant service I gave them before I start going the big time. So in the end, it worked out but I had to pick myself up. And as the song says, pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and start all over again. Dead easy to sing, very, very hard to do. Anyway, I did. I picked up. I went back into my old accounts, and I kindled my friendship with them again. And they were brilliant people. They stuck with me. I suppose they were saying as I walked out the office, yeah, big-headed guy coming crawling back to us, but. That's life. That's life. If you admit your failures, you can move forward as well. So, yeah, that was my big failure. I paid too much attention to the big guys, the one-offs. And I didn't pay enough attention to the core business. Anyway, I don't want you crying over your cup of coffee out there listening to my poor story. And I'm certainly not going to ask you to, what do they call a crowd fund for me? No, thanks. I'm okay. But I did want to just give you some food for thought. In your business, every account is king. Every account should be treated like the only account you have. Don't put a pecking order on them. Oh, I just give all my time to the big boys and I let the staff in the office look after the small accounts. Nah. It was the small accounts that saved my bacon. Took me some time to regroup, as they say. And maybe it was a blessing in disguise because I start to think I'd like to expand my horizons. And that led me to becoming a visiting lecturer at several universities on international trade. It got me in as a consultant for about 12 years with the UN. So it was a shock to the system. And it brought me down to the very basics of don't lose the run of yourself, as we say. don't always strive. Well, strive, obviously, for the big account, but remember the little boys, they're the ones that are there day in, day out. The big accounts sometimes are a flash in the pan, as we say. So there you go. My biggest mistake of my career, what do we say? How do we summarize that? By being not very business savvy? Bearing in mind I just started on my own. Not being very business savvy, and I suppose not respecting my small accounts and giving them the time they actually deserved. Yeah, the big accounts went. I picked up a few more as a matter of interest as time went by, but I just put them in a box marked an account. That's it. I didn't put them in super duper account, brings in the money. No, I put them in the box next to the guy who I invoice £400 every month to. They were in the same box as he was. They were. So I leave you with that. It was nothing to do with logistics or letters of credit or anything like that. And my miserable mistakes, think about it, no matter what business you're in. Think about it. And use a more intelligent approach to your accounts than I did when I started off. Now, although I'm retired, I still am a consultant, etc., etc., etc. And if somebody rings me up and asks me a very, very simple question that I could answer them in my sleep, I still treat them as first class, a Rolls-Royce client. Because after all these years, I've learned my lesson. And I'm still, believe it or not, a consultant to many, many big brand name companies here in the UK and overseas. And I'm a consultant for very, very small companies around where I live. One-man shows, husband and wife, father and son. But when I visit them and when I give them a little bit of help, to me, they're the same as my big overseas accounts. They don't give me as much money and they never pay me on time. But I learned my lesson. So I'm going to leave you there. I'm going to remind you that this is the bit where I plug my company, by the way. ABTS, as I'm sure some of you know, we run courses. You'll find us online. We run courses on import-export. All of these courses are online. We run a course which is becoming, for some mad reason, very, very, very popular, is our letters of credit course. All of a sudden, it's bing, it's going mad. And we do another course, 3 courses mainly, 1 import-export, 1 documentary letters of credit, and the third one is how to become an agent, or the mistakes not to make if you're becoming an agent. So those are the 3 courses. Have a look at the website if you have a moment. Have a look at the website and see, is there anything there that catches your eye you'd like to try and do. I also run a consultancy for small companies, for one-man shows, and for mega companies. So, yeah, if you have any problems or if you would like just to bounce something off me, I'm not going to charge you. If it's a short conversation on WeChat or something like that, I'm not going to charge you for that. Something popped up there. So I'll say goodbye. You know where I am if you want to contact me. And by the way, I'm getting very, very nice small little remarks from you people on YouTube. And I suppose when you get to my age, there's nothing much to look forward to. So I look forward to going on and saying, oh, thank you, Mr. Bracken. I can't, I'm helping somebody. That's good. So I'd like to thank you all for your kind remarks. on this very amateur type of YouTube I do. And to those of you, and we very, very seldom have a bad remark or a sarcastic remark, about me. So for those who like the old videos and take the time to actually contact me, I say thank you. And for those few who write silly remarks or derogatory remarks about you, I go to all of you. Okay, so see you next time. I'm not too sure what subject I will be doing next time, but you can always ask. You can always go on and say, hey, Alan, how's about doing something like this? And I'd be only too happy to do it if I'm capable of doing it. I do it. So, okay, goodbye for now. It was good talking to you again. Stay safe in these days. Keep well. And no doubt you'll be seeing me chatting away to you in the near future. And at which time I might have a different plant behind me because I think this one is dying. So if you don't see that one in the background, we'll have something new for you to look at. Okay, take care. Bye.